talking point. So here's our 10 moments of the year, and Cyril, no particular order we should say. Eddie, will you take us through number one?
Yeah, first and foremost, we're going to hit his Limerick. You know, what a scene. I don't think that's been seen apart from an All-Ireland final. And it just goes to show what it means to the people of Limerick. I mentioned earlier on in the year that Munster Rugby, there are sport mad people down there in Limerick. And for them to come out from underneath the umbrella of the rugby lads, you just seen what it meant to the hurlers of Limerick, 1996 up to that. So what a day, what a scene.
It was a great day. Our next one, Cyril.
Yeah, Dublin's winning the Leinster title for 52 years. Anthony Daly's team. It shows, like, you know, they were absolutely brilliant this year. Got great scores, like, you know, went on okay. In the end, they wound up that little bit short against Cork, but went on to defeat Kilkenny in a replay. But they have a Leinster title under the belt, and they're going to be a serious team in the championship next year.
Okay. Another great moment. Eddie, for you next.
Yeah, from his fan club here in the Sunday game, Podge Collins. This is a great point because he had his 2 catches used up, and often you see us go down a blind alleyway there and losing possession. But to have the presence of mind and even just to know where the post were was the big thing there. That's knowing where you are and conscious of your space and conscious of where you are on the pitch. And that was just an absolutely superb point, and it really gave Clare a lift at the end of that match.
So many great points throughout the year, but your next one is
this
dying moments.
Kevin Moran against Kilkenny. Like, this lad epitomises what Waterford hurling is all about. Free spirit, great, very courageous, comes back at his left side and bang over the bar. Like, he nearly won this game in his own days. Like, he's a brilliant player, and like, he'll be one like that Waterford looking forward to next year, whoever the new manager is going to be.
Yeah, the roar from the crowd there says so much. Next one for you, Eddie.
Yeah, if there was a tint of regret about return, it was certainly this night below at Nolan Park. I have to say it would have been a great occasion to be part of. But the atmosphere, I've never seen anything like it in Nolan Park. I've been fortunate to play there a good few times. It announced Henry's arrival as well. They announced him, and you know, I think people even that night, DJ was there on the side, and they were wondering was DJ going to tug out. But what an occasion! Nolan Park would probably never see anything like that again.
Yeah, Cyril.
Yeah, this is a comical, really. It's Laois versus Galway, and Laois.
I love this.
This is unbelievable. Like, this is a great goal for Laois.
Watch that fella,
like,
the Stewart.
Watch the Stewart. Like, it's one kind of the shot of the year. He's on his own here. Look at this. He has his own form of the haka. You know what I mean? But it just shows you how much it meant. Like, Des, that night, Laois led up to the last few minutes and then Galway on the rack. But like, it epitomises what excitement in hurling is all about.
Yeah. And it was a great year for Laois. You should remember that. Next memory of 2013.
Yes, Hawkeye in its inaugural year created a little stir of controversy. I remember we were there that day. It looked a valid point, and I think we felt that the occasion maybe had got to Hawkeye on the day, but you know, very clearly a point, and I suppose it rumbled on, and it probably maybe, you know, it was very unfortunate on Limerick to lose out in a place in All-Ireland final because of that.
It certainly was, but that in turn provided you with another one of your favourite moments.
Fantastic win for Waterford Minors. They hadn't won it for many years, like, and they needed this, like, but like to win a minor final for any team, they were actually beaten twice in the campaign, but they were a very good side, and like, definitely they will be getting players out of this minor championship team to go on into the senior team, and it showed how much it meant. You know, they got fantastic reception down in Waterford.
Yeah, well deserved for the county, of course. But our final 2 moments.
Yeah, Donald O'Donovan, what a man. Probably the most unlikely fella to get a point, but you talk about you know, being in the right place at the right time, but without that, it's probably fair to say Cork could be All-Ireland champions, and you talk about the thin margins that defined between winning and losing. What a moment to step up and deliver.
It's a great performance from him, wasn't it?
Yeah, and if that didn't go over, this guy wouldn't be on it. Wouldn't be the hero at all. Shane O'Donnell. To me, like, he's kind of the smiling assassin. He's smiling while he's actually scoring. He's so free and so innocent, and he's so young. Like, and to get 3 goals, like, and 3 points in an All Ireland final, like, it's unreal. Like, you know, so he has a big future ahead of him. So like, it's going to be interesting how he copes next year. He's only 20. He'll be still under 21 and senior again. And it'd be lovely to watch how he's going to develop. But like, he's a free spirit, and it looks something to look forward to.
Brilliant. All right then. Well, then it's time to move on to naming our Sunday game hurling team of the year for 2013. Now, this was selected, I stress, by all of our Sunday game pundits, so don't be just blaming Cyril and Eddie if your fella isn't on it. Cyril, we're going to start with goalkeeper.
We're used to the blame. This fella had a great year, a great goalkeeper, Anthony Nash from Kinturk. Now look, he won't be happy with the 5 goals passing him by yesterday, but he's a very good keeper, has brought the art of long range free taking into being like, takes, you know, gets scored from 60 or 80 yards out. And now he's so good at the 21 yards frees, like that. There's probably the rule makers are going to have to look at this rule. Will he be allowed to throw it 6 or 7 yards in? But he's sticking most of them in the back of the net. He's turned out to be one of the top scorers of the game. Had a fantastic season.
Okay. Full back line, number 2.
Yeah, cornerback. We went for Shane O'Neill from Bishopstown. had a good solid year. I think he has filled the gap probably. He played full back a good bit of the time, but very solid, very tenacious in the tackle. Probably has solved the problem for Cork, really. They haven't really replaced Dermot O'Sullivan, but this man looks to me like the long-term replacement for him, and sensible with his distribution as well. I think he couldn't really be faulted for the first 2 goals. Yes, I think he was caught where there was an overlap, and very hard for a defender to know what to do there. Yeah.
All right then, the full-back spots there.
Yeah, there was a couple of contenders. Like Peter Kelly, to me, had a great year. Like he kind of went back there for Dublin when they had no full back, and as the season went on, like he's grown into the last 2 seasons. Lucan Sarsfield's club. I suppose Richie McCarthy had a great year for Limerick as well, but some of the time Richie was actually unknown because it was the people that pulled markers out the field. But Peter has made it his own, and like he's a permanent position now on that Dublin team, and had a great game today for Lucan Sarsfields against your own club, Des.
We're not talking about that. Moving on to left corner back.
Yeah, we went for Clare's David McInerney, young man, 19 years of age, from the Tulla club. Very, very solid. Won man of the match in the semi-final. A little bit wobbly at the start yesterday, but came out with some great balls at the end of the match. And also man of the match in the 21 semi-final and the 21 All-Ireland. You could make a case for the likes of Paul Murphy, Conor O'Sullivan, even Mickey Cahill, Donald O'Donovan as well. We're probably unlucky to lose out.
All right then. And that brings us to half-back line, right half-back.
Number 5, Brendan Bugler, Whitegate club in Clare, like a big, strong, physical man. He gives the physical presence to the Clare half-back line. Brilliant in the air, has had 2 fantastic seasons, and he's probably in line for a great All-Star as well. And, he's probably not yet as good an accordion player, I'd say, as his father. His father's probably a teacher, but wouldn't be up to Seamus's standards yet.
He did well in that yesterday. Centre half-back.
Yeah, the St. Pat's Palmerstown man from Dublin, Liam Rush, probably a standout contender for centre-back, because a lot of the other centre-backs didn't really... Wayne Mack probably lost out. Yeah, Wayne Mack was probably the obvious contender, but absolutely brilliant against Kilkenny in the 2 matches. Always sensible with his distribution, looking up, and it's what you want out of a back when he's coming out with the ball, try pick a man in possession.
Okay, and the third one to get a half-back spot?
Yeah, well, it went for Pat Donlan from O'Callaghan's Mills, captain of the Clare team. When Davy went to pick a captain, he chose wisely. This has a great brain in his head, very good at laying off the ball, has played as a sweeper, has played centre-back, has played midfield, can play anywhere on the pitch, and like a very, very good hurler. Actually, for his club, O'Callaghan's Mills, last year he played all the season up front. Top-class player and a top-class gentleman.
Okay, so there's our goalkeeper and our defence. So Clare, Cork, Dublin represented so far. We're going to midfield.
Yeah, the first lad we gave the nod to midfield was Limerick's Paul Brown from the Ballybrown club. Just about probably pips his county man Donal O'Grady, but very good, very athletic, very fit. Done a lot of link play there for Limerick this year. Well able to take a score. Again, competition was, you could have gone with a few different contenders, but for us, Paul Brown just gets the nod. I thought he had a good Munster campaign and hurled well against Clare in the semi.
Okay, and then the other spot?
Yeah, the second position, actually there was a lot of midfielders in and out and kind of covering there, but we went for Colm Galvin from the Clara club. Did a lot of work, does a lot of kind of unseen work, always good to get scores, great for link play, good to hook, block, but also gets an odd point from way out, from play. Yeah. Has been the one permanent position on the Clare team all year. May not last the 70 minutes every day, but a very, very good player.
All right, now, I witnessed the conversation in relation to the attack, and obviously very difficult in the half-forward line in particular, I thought.
Yeah, massive competition here, but we said this man, certainly, his mum did put the club on the map a few years ago, but Seamus Harmley certainly put the St. Hita's club on the map this year. Excellent target off the puckouts. He was able to catch ball this year for them, catch ball off the puckouts all year long. The All-Ireland final yesterday, he really stepped up 1-2 from play. Big fella, good hand on him, very agile, and weighed in with very important scores for Cork all year long. Colin Keeney, very unlucky to lose out.
All right then. Centre half forward?
Yeah, well, to me, there was no contest here. Tony Kelly was hands and shoulders. He's the epitome of a beautiful hurler. Left, right, dips out midfield, goes left side, goes right side. He's a link player as well. Like, he can cover ground. He's like a gazelle, really. He seems to be always kind of poetry in motion. And, the future in this guy, I think Clare hurling will be built around him for the years to come.
He's only, 19 or 20?
Yeah, he's probably 20 next year,
yeah. And the other spot then in this?
Yeah, we picked Dublin's Danny Sutcliffe from the great St. Jude's club. Brilliant, Mr. Consistency for Dublin over the last 2 seasons. I think this year he really matured as well. He weighed in with very important scores when they need him. He was averaging 2 and 3 points a game, got that all-important goal against Kilkenny in the victory, and beats off competition like Colin Ryan from Clare, who had a very solid year.
Okay. onto the full forward line then, right corner forward.
Yeah, stood out this year. Podge Collins, lucky to make the team early on, but he's like a pocket dynamo. He covers every inch of ground on the pitch. Great to get scores, great to lay off ball, and like he's great to trying to draw frees as well. Like you know, he had a year, I suppose, that he didn't expect himself. And his brother Sean Collins, people have forgotten about him. He's a very good player too, and you'll probably find he gets injury free. He'll be back on that Clare team challenging next year.
All right, so good day for Cratloe. Full forward.
Moving on to the full forward, a bit like centre forward, not too much competition here. Patrick Horgan takes this one, the Glen Rovers man from Cork. Hit his frees excellently all year long, was a front runner for Hurler of the Year up to the draw on All-Irelands. But what I really like about him is very economical, very tidy in tight spaces, worked off limited possession and still picked it off his points from play. So very good year for Pat Horgan.
All right, and the final spot then in the full forward line, sir.
Yeah, brilliant player, back from injury. Conor McGrath, another man from the Cracklow club. Like he left his best wine to the last game, really. But like he's a brilliant player. I suppose suffered early on kind of the game plan of Davies back, helping out, doing all the kind of working back. But he's a very good hurler, great to lay off scores. And today, like he made the scores, very unselfish, like and got good scores, but made great scores as well. And again, he's only about 22, has a great future in front of him.
So 2 Cratloe men in the full forward line on the team of the year. That's something. So there you go. And to recap on the numbers, Clare have 7 players in the Sunday game team of the year for 2013. Cork have 4, Dublin have 3, and Limerick have 1. Congratulations to them all.
Yeah, I suppose there's a big talking point is that there's no player from Kilkenny, Tip or Galway. The top 3 for the last 2 years have no player on it. And that's because we have new future stars, really.
And even you could argue, I'm sure Limerick people will be a little bit disappointed they're Munster champions, they've only won, but I think what probably done them in really maybe was the fact that the draw in All-Ireland would have meant that both Cork and Clare took the big bite of the All-Stars.
Sure. I suppose there's people going to say, how come Shane O'Donnell isn't on it? He gets 3 goals, 3 points, the biggest day of the year, so don't blame us, there's a lot of other selectors here as well.
OK. All right then, the nominees for the Sunday game hurler of the year.
Yeah, first and foremost, good competition, but we went for Tony Kelly first and foremost. The Clare game initially at the early parts of the championship was built around this man, attacking from deep, mobile, can pick off a score. I think what I really like about him is his ability to pick off scores from long range. Anthony Nash, the Kanturk man, what a year he's had, weighed in with scores, probably outscored some of his forward colleagues, hit some belters of goals from frees all year. And the final one we went for was Podge Collins, again, the part of the terrible twins with himself and Tony Kelly. I wouldn't like to be run after either of them boys, but Podge Collins was brilliant all year long. That superb score in the last day, but all year long he has tormented defences.
All right. And Cyril, then your choice as hurler of the year.
There was one player that stood out from start to finish the whole year in this year's championship, and that has to be Tony Kelly. He's like the new pin-out boy in the block. Like, to me, he's a brilliant player who can play him anywhere. And like, it's a joy to go to see him, both at under 21 and senior levels. He got scores that no one else could get. Like, but he's just his movement around the pitch and his economy of style. Like, he's a brilliant player, and like, he's so young, it's unbelievable.
All right. Well, that'll be great celebrations with Ballyea and add to it. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all who made our team of the year. Well, that's about it for another wonderful season on the Sunday game. My thanks to Cyril and Eddie and all of our pundits, to you at home for watching in such great numbers, and if I may, a special word of personal thanks to our young and dynamic team here who do so